In this video, I'm going to show you how to get a used Tesla like this one. I just bought it last week, and you should be able to get instantly $4,000 off the car on top of whatever you can negotiate with the dealer. And you need this document in order to be legit at the end of the year. You don't have to wait till the end of the year to get the $4,000 credit. You can do it right in the dealership at the point of sale, and it's a great way to get a used pre-owned EV, not just Teslas, and score a fantastic price on the vehicle. Now, there are a couple of things that'll make this process really simple for you. The first thing is that you need to find a licensed dealer. Now, the car that I just bought, the Tesla Model 3, it was priced at, I think, $28,000. I had sent emails out to multiple dealerships to try to get some of the $28,000 cars down to about $25,000 because I knew that if I could get them down to that $25,000 as the sale price, then I could also get that $4,000 credit off the car. If you can just get that dealership to get down to $25,000, which is very common on EVs. Dealerships are, at least currently, afraid of EVs. They want to get rid of them. They want to process them. There's a lot of Hertz cars on the market, a lot of rental cars, and they want to get these cars out of their inventory, especially used EVs. So the first thing you want to do, find a car that's at $25,000 or less, or maybe 26, 27, 28,000, and just start negotiating through email. Send dealers emails and ask them if they would consider lowering the price to $25,000 so that you can get the tax credit. That's the easiest way to go about this. The second thing to understand is that the credit equals 30% of the sale price up to a maximum of $4,000. So if you get the car at around $23,000 to $25,000, you're going to get the maximum $4,000 credit. If you bought a car for $12,000, you're going to get just 30% of that $12,000, which is still nice, but not quite as good as the $4,000 full credit. And the most important thing, at the time of sale, the seller, the dealer, must give you information about the vehicle. So you will get this form 15400, and you don't have to actually do anything. Once the dealers are set up properly, they make the process really simple for you. If they are registered with the IRS like they should be, you don't really have to do anything other than sign the credit over to them. So what you're doing at the point of sale is saying, I'm going to take that $4,000, give it to the dealer, and the dealer takes that money, and they actually get the money. The dealership receives the money from the IRS within like 5 to 15 days. They get the money fairly quickly. So it's good for the dealer. It's good for the buyer. The buyer gets a much lower price on the car. The dealer gets the tax credit immediately, and then you don't have to wait till the end of the year to get the money. So the other requirement is that you cannot have claimed another used clean vehicle credit in the past 3 years of the purchase date. For me, that wasn't a problem. I've never owned an EV before, and I've never claimed a used vehicle EV credit in the past 3 years. And in addition to that, you do need to meet these income requirements. So $150,000 for married filing jointly with surviving spouse, $112,000 per head of household, and $75,000 for all other filers. So that probably hits most of middle America. So it works out for most people, and I think that's okay. The requirements aren't too strict. If you're above those income requirements, then you are out of luck. And there is another requirement here. The vehicle model year has to be at least 2 years earlier than the calendar year. So if you're looking at cars, it's now 2024, you want to be looking at 2022 model years and older in order to receive this credit. You need to make sure that the vehicle hasn't already been transferred to some other qualified buyer. So they just want to make sure that someone else didn't receive the credit and then resell the vehicle in the same year. And there are some other gross vehicle weight rating less than 14,000 pounds. It has to be at least a 7 kilowatt battery size and be for primary use in the United States. Pretty obvious requirements there. So just to give you an example of how you would search for this, in my case, I was looking for Tesla Model 3s, and I was looking for a long range, and then I was also going to say that the model year needed to be 2022 or older. Worth noting that the Tesla warranties, I wouldn't go back beyond 2020. So I was looking for a very narrow range of 2020 to 2022 model years. The reason why is Tesla's warranty is 8 years or 120,000 miles. So in my case, buying a used Tesla, it was important for me to get a battery warranty. You want to look at that with any of these used EVs. Don't ignore the battery warranty. I wouldn't go older than 2020. That gives you about 4 years of a battery warranty, and then whatever mileage is left up to 120,000, which is great for the drive system and the battery. Those are the most expensive things to replace in these. Overall, these have been one of the most reliable cars on the market, so I think you're fairly safe looking at 2020 to 2022 range Teslas or other brands like a Nissan Leaf or something like that. And as you can see here, we've got a 2020 with 100,000 miles. That's approaching that battery warranty. I'd stay away from that. You can add a mileage filter in, maybe do like 70 or 80,000 miles or less, just so you're filtering out those vehicles that are going to be really close to the warranty. And you can see here, there's a 2020 long range for $27,995. My guess is that one of these dealers that are around the $27,000 to $28,000 range, this is how I approached it. I just emailed 5 or 6 different dealerships. I told them exactly why I wanted to get the car at $25,000, and I told them I needed that tax credit. I wanted to get another $4,000 off just to make it a great deal for me, and it's a good deal for them. They still get the tax credit up front, and one dealer was willing to bite and said, "Yeah, sure, we'll sell it to you for $25,000." And the dealer I ended up going with, I think, sold it for $24,200 plus dealer handling. Now, you can also educate dealers on this. So if a dealer isn't aware of this, I encountered about 4 dealerships that were not aware of how to do this at the time of sale. They didn't know that they could take that $4,000 credit and just get it back from the IRS within 15 days or whatever the limit was. So you can send them to this, and I'll put the links in the description below. I'll put all the links for the dealership as well as the links for you to look at these forms. The dealership just goes right to this IRS website and they register their business. That's all they need to do is just register with their dealer IDs, and then they can fill out all the information for you at the point of sale and provide you with the proper documentation that I showed you. Beware, in this process, I encountered a lot of dealerships that either didn't know how to do it or didn't want to do it. I just moved on and found a dealership that actually understood how this process works. Another quick tip, if you're buying a Tesla, recently, Hertz had a bunch of vehicles that dumped the market from rentals. So take a peek at the Carfax. The one I bought was not a rental vehicle, and it shows a lot of the front end of mine and just all the way around the vehicle. It's in really good condition because it was a personal car, only had 48,000 miles. A lot of these are rental vehicles, as you'll see here. I would lean towards personal use if you can. Another benefit to personal use vehicles versus the rental vehicles, especially in EVs, is those tend to be charged with DC fast charging when they're rental vehicles. If it's a personal use vehicle, they tend to charge it at home like a trickle charger, a little bit slower, and it's a lot better for the battery health. And here's the car I bought just to kind of show you the condition of it. So here it is. It's in actually great condition. It is, again, a 2020 Model 3 dual motor. And I just got it about a week ago. Everything works on it, and it is in fantastic condition. It's a little, got a little rain on it yesterday. I cleaned it up for this video, and then it got rained on again. So, but if you look really closely, man, there's just some bugs on the front here. That's about it, but no dents or dings. About the only thing I could find on it was this little tiny scratch there. And then there's one towards the back trunk, and this is the last part of their instructions. So this is just kind of reiterating, you can apply the clean vehicle tax credit immediately toward the amount you pay for the vehicle by transferring the credit to the dealer, or you can wait till the end of the year if you prefer to just do your taxes at the end of the year and get the benefit then. You transfer the credit at the time of sale. You must buy the vehicle from a registered dealer primarily for personal use, not for resale. So you can't be buying this just to resell the car. I'm not positive, but I haven't read all the fine print. If you buy this car and then resell it in the first year, they may consider that. They may try to pull that credit back at the end of the year and ding you for it. I'm not sure. And then you get this time of sale report. Remember, the dealership at the time of sale, if they know what they're doing, they're going to be giving you this report. That report specifically took about maybe 2 minutes. The dealership filled all the information out based on all of the information that I provided them to purchase the car, and they just printed out the form. I signed one line and I was done. It's basically a line saying that you will transfer the credit to the dealership. Makes it very easy. And the last thing you do is file this Form 8936 with your tax return. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. So let's recap. Find a vehicle that's $25,000 or less, or find a vehicle that's maybe approaching down to that $25,000 and negotiate with the dealership and tell them what you want to do with this tax credit. Try to filter out all the vehicles and pay attention to the EV warranties. Filter out vehicles that are rental cars if you're worried about that. Make sure the car is at least 2 model years old. Make sure the car hasn't been transferred or used for an EV tax credit already. Usually a one-owner car is really simple. It's never been sold, so it hasn't been used on the EV credit for the used vehicles. I hope this helps you out. I hope this maybe guides you in the right direction. I personally didn't know that you could apply this tax credit up front. I thought it was something that had to be applied at the end of the year. So it was very nice to see that you could just apply this at the dealership, just like the new tax credit. So if you buy a new EV, it's the same thing. You get that $7,500 applied to the price. The reason I bought used was because you get that depreciation hit in the first 2 years, especially with the Tesla and them lowering prices recently. Compared to a $50,000 Tesla or a $47,000 Tesla, I'd rather buy one at $20,000 with 48,000 miles and it's just a little bit better deal, and I'm not going to take that massive hit of depreciation. So yeah, worked out great for me. I hope this will work out for you and helps you in the way of just navigating the IRS forms and understanding how this process works. It does matter that you find a good dealership though. Once I found a dealer that had the car I wanted, that also knew what they were doing with this tax credit, this was a big win for me because it just made the process really smooth. And if you're not interested in buying a used one, if you just want to blow your money on a new Tesla and buy a brand new one below, click my referral link. I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, until next time, thanks.